Becoming a photographer completely changed my life. I've had the craziest experiences in my life because of it. How some clients paid me to fly to insane events. They paid for our flights, and the coolest thing was we were just partying. It was insane. And then we went to the island. We went to some fancy restaurants. They bring you on a trip with them. You go with them. You make photos of everything, and your job is basically to document the craziest experience that's possible. Today I'm going to share how crazy some of my clients were. So let's start with the best jobs I've ever had, the Yacht Week. This was a client that paid me to fly to Croatia. And the coolest thing was it's like basically 100 yachts traveling together from island to island, partying twice a day, sometimes in the water in between islands. And then the coolest part was that I basically had like personal assistant who was managing everything. And she was like, okay, Sam, good morning. Today you're going to go now in 30 minutes, you're going to go on a boat taxi, and then you're going to go to the yachts, and then you have 2 hours to sleep. I booked a hotel for you, or I booked an Airbnb for you, and then you're gonna go there and there and there, and everything was managed. It was crazy. I mean, I could go to any restaurant I wanted to, everything would be paid for. It was just amazing. I loved it completely. And then you have all those crazy people, all those crazy Americans who really like to party and really like to do things big, so they bring their own floatables, and they're like really cool people doing the craziest shit. Sometimes they bring you on a trip with them, they rent some like cars or stuff, and then you go with them, you make photos of everything. Your job is basically to make the craziest experience and to document the craziest experience that's possible. So during Corona, I was thinking like, wow, this is one of the highlights of my life. This is like one of the craziest things I've ever done. One of the craziest stories. I would love to work with them more and more. And actually, they love me a lot. After Corona, I did the first week with them. So that was the craziest week. And they actually had a new person who was in charge of hiring a photographer, and they didn't know me. So I actually reached out to them during the Corona, or just at the end. I was like, hey, this is my favorite memories. I would love to work with you again. And by coincidence, she answered to me. But then later when I worked with them, I asked them, hey, why did you choose me? And she told me she had like 5,000 other photographers to choose from, and she chose me because she asked the social media manager, who do they use the most photos of? And then I was in the top 5, and she saw my email and she was like, let's go. Actually, my photo was on their Facebook profile as a cover photo for a few years, so that's been really great. And the first time I worked with them was actually the craziest week ever. 2 weeks actually. It was with Ultra Music Festival, which is basically like Tomorrowland but more electronic, and it's one of the biggest festivals. It was my dream festival as a kid. It was like the #1 festival I wanted to attend, and then I was a photographer there with a VIP pass and everything, so it was absolutely insane. And I actually got sick in this weekend because everything was too much, but I still managed to do everything, and it was just absolutely crazy. This role, the first time we worked together basically, was I emailed them, hey, I would love to work with you. I am actually a professional festival photographer. That's my niche. I photograph all the festivals here in the Netherlands, like the crazy big ones, Awakenings, and which is like the biggest techno festival in the world or something. So stuff like that I sent them, and then they said, oh, we actually have already a photographer. Yeah, I think I sent them a few weeks after, hey, I would still love to work with you, or maybe we can do other weeks. And then a little bit later after that, they sent me an email, hey, our photographer actually canceled. Can you spontaneously come to shoot with us? And maybe I had to cancel a job or two, or like to replace myself with a good other photographer. But I said yes, I was really excited, and I flew there. It's crazy how life can change suddenly, because suddenly you need to book tickets, you need to fly somewhere else that you don't know, but then they really take care of everything. They come pick you up with a taxi or with someone, and they arrange everything, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Because if I would need to arrange everything myself, that would be really crazy. And then what I noticed also is actually when you're on the water, you're a little bit more emotional, or that's what I said. So sometimes there were some people in the team that I didn't got along, or some people that I really liked, and it was intense. It was really intense. Like sometimes they expected too much, or I didn't know what they want. It was also a bit more, it was new to me also. So I remember I had the craziest ups, and I had also some, oh, I don't feel like I belong here or something like that. It was crazy. One of my favorite memories ever. Then another job was driving with limousines. It's a gaming company here in the Netherlands, and they had a conference, or they hired a booth at games.com. So they had like a booth there, and it's like a huge conference with all the gamers that come there, and they went there to do business basically. But they also went there as a really fun activity for the whole team, and to show how fun it is to work in the team and how crazy it is. So what they basically did, they hired me as a photographer and a videographer, and I'll share in a bit how they found me. But what we did is basically they hired a huge limo bus, so a limousine bus, so like a bus, but not with normal seats, with seats like this and alcohol, and they had uncomfortably huge speaker, like awkward, where the limo came and the whole town heard that. So it was pretty awkward, it was pretty crazy, but that's like mind-blowing. And then we went to sleep. We went there, I made some videos of the whole trip, of everything, sharing at the booth also. This conference was amazing. Everyone gave up a lot of free stuff, and it was like pretty fun. I'm not a gamer myself. I mean, I understand it. Maybe I was a little bit of a gamer when I was a kid, and yeah, it's quite a cool thing. I mean, people flew all over the world to go there, and I just got paid good money to go there. Actually, really good money. It was 2 days, and then they also paid for my hotel, which was quite a luxury hotel, fancy hotel with like breakfast and everything. And then some of the team won a prize, and the surprise for them was drive home with an actual limousine. So we had then 2 limousines, one small limousine, which like is for 10 people, and then a limo bus. And when those people went absolutely crazy with like a lot of alcohol, they really danced, and it was really crazy. It was really fun, and for me it was just insane, the whole vibe also. And then we actually met because I worked at a festival, and it was pretty fun. I had good energy, and I photographed some girls. Yeah, I gave them a little bit extra attention. I was like, yeah, let's do photos like this, let's do photos like this. One of them was like really happy with the photos. It was her favorite photos, and then she contacted me later, and she was, hey, do you do also for corporations photos? Because I have a company that I work for, and we're looking for a photographer and videographer. Could you help with that? So that is what we did, and it was absolutely crazy. I'm really thankful for that experience. It was actually at the month that I made the most amount of money ever, and I had jobs after jobs after jobs, and then not only jobs after jobs, I also had people contacting me, and then I was sometimes too expensive, but sometimes it was like, okay, are we going forward, are we not? And then I had to like manage everything and be like, okay, well, I'm already making a lot of money this month. I don't like, this is how I hired my coach, because we spoke about it, and I broke down in tears. I didn't know what to do with so much money, first of all, and so much responsibility. I promised so much things. I promised after movies to people where I almost never did after movies. So I mean, luckily I could outsource the after movie, yeah, like editing the video, because I don't like doing that. That takes a lot of time and energy, but I did the videos, and I mean, if I take photos, I can just take a few videos as well at the same time. But I remember it was really chaotic, really stressful. You know, sometimes I need to answer emails. Hey, is it going? New emails coming in. You know, yeah, my way of saying no kind of is just raising my prices. So the more I'm booked, less time I have, the more I can just kind of say like no with my prices. So if they say no, it's not a big deal. If they say yes, then I get a lot of money, and then I'm happy about it and excited about it. It was stressful. It was crazy. Now I will go quickly over a few more. I toured with one of my favorite DJs from my childhood. I'm not a fan of him now anymore. I'm not an EDM listener, but when I was a kid, I was a big fan of EDM, all the electronic music. His name is Blasterjaxx. Friends of mine, like colleagues of mine that connected me to him. He was looking for a one-time thing. So we flew to Bulgaria, I think, and to a festival there. We slept in a fancy hotel. Everything was super cool. Yeah, I loved that. That was really, really cool. And then I did like crazy festivals. I was like the house photographer of Awakenings for many years, and it's standing on podiums with I don't know how much people, but a lot of people. And it's crazy that everyone is like kind of seeing you but ignoring you and looking at you. And like, I actually have a story once. Everyone was waiting for a new artist to come, and I didn't realize that, but I was running to switch my lens, and I didn't realize that, so I just went on the podium where everyone was waiting for him, and that was pretty awkward. And like the managers were like, who'd let you in? So I mean, it's crazy. You're just like on stage, this whole experience of like so many people looking at you, and you can do whatever you want, and it's like so much freedom. It's so much crazy. It's like so much responsibility on you. And I mean, festivals, it's running sometimes. Like some of those festivals make you run, make you like capture everyone, all the artists or stuff like this. It can be crazy. This is what I would recommend if I were you, and those are the clients who pay the most. And it is, wait, let me find a word. Okay, in Dutch it's called stichting. In English it's called founding, or I think it's like non-profits. Those kind of organizations and big corporations are amazing. So non-profits, they are basically spending all their money on growth. They don't want to keep the money, so they just spend it, and they get a lot of money. So you can just ask any price, like really good prices, 10 times than low budget clients, thousands of dollars, and they will work with you. If you make it work for them, then they will work for you. In those companies, how it's working is basically, hey, we need to organize events because of this, because of some reasons. We need to grow, we want to build more trust with our clients, and we want to get more clients, and then the clients can invite their friends or other potential clients, stuff like this. This is why a lot of companies do businesses. And then we want to show everyone how crazy and company vibe, but how good this event was, so we can promote it other events the next time, and we can make sure that more people come and more people want to come, and that we have memories, and maybe we print them. So this is how they think. It's basically one owner who is like, hey, we need to organize an event. An assistant or a stagiaire or someone who doesn't know how to organize events needs to find out and organize an event. So what does she do? She goes to agencies, or she's trying to organize events, but she doesn't know locations, she doesn't know photographers, she doesn't know event organizers or planners, or she doesn't know how to do those things. So for her, it's really helpful if a photographer reach out to her. So what I would recommend you is to reach out to everyone you know that's working in a big company or in a funding or in like a non-profit and say, hey, I would love to work with you guys, or I would love to show you and prove to you that I can make good photos. Maybe you can do one time for free, or maybe not, see how they react. If they react good and positively, then you can charge already, but if not, then you can always offer for free, and that's how you can get in the door, or just contact a lot of those people. So my recommendation would be to find conferences around you, and then to go to the website, check out all the booths that are working with them, all the other companies that are presenting them, and they're all coming from all over the world, and then contacting all of them and saying, hey, I live in this town, I would love to make photos for you. Maybe I'm anyway there. If you are looking for photos, they can pay a lot of money, and they're not really into looking for new photographers. So for them, they need to find a photographer, but they don't know how really. So they go to Google, and this is how they find me usually. But this is how I know that they're really good clients, and they pay a lot, and they're just super simple and happy always. This is why I recommend you to reach out to them, big corporations and non-profits, because those companies just have all the time work. So one of the companies that I used to work for was one of the biggest churches in Amsterdam, actually. It's just near the Dam. It's in the center of Amsterdam. So it's a beautiful church. Sometimes the royal family goes there. I had an event with a royal family. They also work in collaboration, or they're the same company basically, or the same non-profit with a museum in Amsterdam. Also quite royal, quite fancy. They just booked me every week or something like that, kept agreeing to new prices, and it was just absolutely amazing. I love them. They were always happy, always had a lot of work for me. They paid really good, really happy with them, my favorite client. And I got to work with the royal family because of them, which is insane. I worked at an event that they organized where the royal family was invited to there, and it was about the royal family. It was always super easy work, and they were always happy. Now, I actually got this client from another photographer who couldn't do the job. He was like last minute, hey, can you do this photo shoot? I cannot come, I'm sick, or I need to do an event or something. So I did it, and then they kept contacting me more and more. I don't think he had a problem with it. Yeah, that's how I got my favorite clients. I would recommend you not to wait for an opportunity like this, because for me, this was a huge chance. I would just recommend you to find out about all those boring businesses around you and just to contact them and reach out to them to every email you find, basically, almost.